please try this question and see if you guys remember the application of trigonometry, right? This is very nice question that I found, and please do this question. So whatever steps that we have followed in the NCRT question papers, so those are exactly the same in this question. Only there are no numbers in pairs. That's the only difference that we have. Please do this problem. And whenever you guys get the result, please tell me. Then meanwhile, I guess everybody will join. And if you don't understand the question, guys, so then please also tell me. Because you guys have become experts, yeah, know that you guys will be able to do this problem. So Tejasvi, when you were not here, we just completed this coordinate geometry, right? So also please prepare those coordinate geometry, and if you face any problem, please tell.
Okay, sir.
And what I will do nowadays that I will start sending you guys some samples. That will be. Yes, all of you guys, did you guys understand the problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good. Yes, solve it. Yes, Amar sir, understood the question.
No, sir, I'm still doing.
Oh, so you didn't understand the question. So let me just tell you the question that we have two houses, right? So one house is this one, and this is the window of this house. Let's say this is the window of this house at a certain height, h. So this is the ground, right? This is the ground. This is one house. This is at some height h, and then this is some lane, and we have another house. So another house is situated at some distance, and they are telling that if we look from the window, so angle of elevation is the top of this house is alpha. So we make the angle of elevation from this line of sight, right? So this is the angle of elevation alpha. And we have also this angle of depression from this window to the bottom of this house, and that is beta, right? So we have to find out what is the height of this thing. This is and they have said that height would be h 1 plus tan alpha and cot beta. This would be the height. So what we need to calculate, because we already know this height. This height we already know, right, guys? How much is this height, Amar?
Sir, I got the answer.
Oh, good. So Shaima got the answer. Yeah, it was a good question, right, Shaima?
Yes, sir.
So yes, and yeah, Amar, what would be this height? Yes, what would be this height? Yes, Amar said, what would be this height? Who got disconnected?
So I got the answer too.
Oh, good. Stage first thought. Good, good. Yeah, so that is why I wanted to test you guys that if you guys remember this, right? Yes, Amar. Now who are only remaining. So please tell me, right? What would be this height? Just look at the figure and tell me what would be this height from
H.
here to H. Absolutely correct. So then why were you hesitating? So we
So I
know
said
this.
H before, but
Oh, you said H many times. Sorry, but I couldn't hear you. Yeah, sorry. So this height we already know, and to calculate this height, we only require this part. Let's say this is y. So we have to figure out somehow this height, and we can add this height to this one, and then our answer is complete, right? So to calculate this height, we have already this angle, and from trigonometric ratio, we require either this part or this part, right? So if we look at this below triangle, right? So this is B, this is H, so this part we can calculate, right? This thing we can calculate from this lower triangle. So if we know this thing from this lower triangle, if we calculate this side, then from this angle, from this side, we can use trigonometry and calculate this y. So our primary goal is to calculate this thing, but the secondary goal is to calculate this thing, right? So this is angle beta, right? This is opposite to angle beta, right? This angle is 90 degrees, so this is hypotenuse. So this is also this is okay, sorry, right. Right. Yeah, so this is perpendicular, this is base, and this is beta angle, right? So how can we calculate this thing, Amar? Using perpendicular base and this thing. How can we calculate this thing? Who joined and got disconnected, guys? You guys remember, joined. Yes, Amar. Please look at this triangle, right? And you already know trigonometric ratio. So you know that what relates perpendicular to base. What relates that? Yes. What
mm,
relates perpendicular to base? So remember, we
like
have mainly, yes, yes,
90 degrees.
90 degrees is the right angle, right? 90 degrees is the right angle. We are asking about, there are how many trigonometric ratios? There are sine theta, cos theta, tan theta, mainly three. And then the rest threes are reciprocal. So mainly you have three ratios: sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. So in these three trigonometric ratios, which one relates perpendicular to base? If you remember that, what relates that? So you have forgotten. So we will discuss that part later. And yeah, yes, Aisha. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Okay, so please do this question right. and we were just discussing. I randomly saw this question, and it looked quite interesting. So I just gave this problem to Shaima, Tejasvi, and Amar. So you please also try this question, and then we will move on to trying this chapter. Please, do this question. Okay. Okay. So Amar, tan theta, relates perpendicular and base. Do you remember? Yes, Amar.
Yes.
Okay. So now our angle is not theta but beta. Tan beta is perpendicular, which is this h, and then this base, which is x. So we can write this tan beta as perpendicular, which is h, base, which is x. So we can find out x, which would be h by tan beta. Now, can you tell me what is 1 by tan beta? What is the reciprocal of tan theta?
Sine.
Sine
Cot theta.
cot theta, right? Cot theta is reciprocal. Remember, sine theta is p by h, perpendicular and hypotenuse, right? We are talking about perpendicular and base. Oh, yes, yes, Aisha is correct, and that is cot theta, right? So 1 by tan beta, that would be cot beta. So you see that we have nearly got our cot beta, we have got h, we have got. So now we have got this x we have found out, and this relates alpha with this y. So again we have this perpendicular, we have this base, and we have this angle. So what relates perpendicular and base? Amar? Yes, again tan theta, right? We can write in the upper triangle tan alpha would be perpendicular by base. So
Oh,
tan alpha would be perpendicular is y. Base you have calculated, that is x. So y would be x tan alpha. So x is how much? X is h cot beta and tan alpha. So then you can just put the values in here, y value. So height would be h plus y. So h plus h, and I can rearrange this tan alpha and cot beta. So then I can take h common, so 1 plus tan alpha cot. So this would be the answer. This was that we wanted to. Is it clear to you, Amar?
yes, sir.
Okay, so please note it down, and then we'll start triangles part, right? Triangles chapter will start. Yeah, this is quite interesting question. And yes, Aisha, did you get the answer?
No, sir. I understood the question.
Oh, yeah, okay, you did see, yeah. Sorry, but got to tell you what the question. Yeah, so this was the question, right? There was this window, and somebody was looking from that window to other house. So angle of elevation to the other house was from this window at some height h. That was alpha, and angle of depression to the bottom of the other house, that was beta. So we had to prove that height of the other house, that would be this was the question, right? And we didn't do any step which was not known to us earlier, right? These were the only steps that we followed while doing on those previous questions in application. So those exactly same steps, only we don't have the angles, we don't have the numbers, right? So that is the only difference. Don't you guys get afraid of these numbers? Yeah, so already you guys saw this thing. Now I'm assured that if you guys get these kind of questions, then it will not be troublesome. Okay, yes, Amar, noted.
One second. Yeah, sir.
Yeah, and Aisha, did you note down the question? You try it on your own, right, Aisha? You just note down the question.
Okay, sir.
Whenever you have noted it down, please tell.
Done, sir.
Done. Okay, good. So now let us start. What are the key triangles, right? Do we have any assignment? No, we have this assignment, right? Similarity of triangles assignment and criteria. Yeah. So I will just recap some things quickly, and then we will start. What are the things conceptually we already. Yeah, we have to remember all the properties of the triangles, right? The equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, all these properties, and then we have to also remember the median and what is median, what is angle bisector, what is altitude, all these things, and then we have to also remember the properties of the quadrilaterals, parallelograms, squares, rectangles, all these properties, and then we have these triangles properties, right? So first thing that we have to remember is this is the first theorem that we have done, right? And that is called the Thales theorem, right, guys? Thales theorem, and it is also known as basic proportionality theorem. And what does it say? So you have this triangle, right? And you draw a parallel line segment to the third. So let's say we have this first, second, third side. So we draw a parallel line to the third side. So this line will intersect the other two sides at two different points. Let's say this is P and this is Q. And this is a triangle ABC, right? So this Thales theorem says that if PQ parallel to PC, then what do we have? Then ratio. Then AP by PP. That is also equal to AQ by QC. So, and how did we prove these two things? So we used the idea of this property we used, right? We had we had this parallel line, and then we had two triangles on the same base, and between the two parallels. We had A, B, C, and let's say this is B, 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 C. So these are two properties we used, and we proved that these triangles are equal, and then we got then we proved this relation. So this proof you guys have already that in your notes. Yeah, please go through that. And this is the result that we get. So these two sides are divided proportionally. So these proportion are equal. And then we also learned about this extension, right? This is very crucial. So we also learned the extension that AP by AB, right? So not only AP by PB. So we can also take AP by whole AB. That would also be equal to AQ by A. So this is the other extension. This was the first property or first theorem that we studied in this chapter. And the second thing that we studied was what? So the second thing that we studied was, all of you guys already know, converse of right. What is the converse of BPT? So it states that if we have so if AP by PB, that is equal to AQ by QC, or AP by AB, that is equal to AQ by AC, then what do we have? PQ parallel to PC. So these are the two things that we studied in this chapter, right? In this exercise, particularly in this exercise. And we also studied that what are similar figures. So we studied that similar figures, they have two properties. One is that their shapes are same, but size may be different, right? So these are the two peculiar properties of the similar figures, and this is also there are also two relations as well. That if you have two similar figures, then their adjacent or corresponding angles are equal. And second property, whenever you have two similar figures, their corresponding sides are proportional, right? So they are divided in equal proportions. I should write equally. So these are the two basic properties of the similar figures. And then we specifically talked about two triangles, right? So then we talked about criterion of similarity of prime. And we specifically talked about, first one was this AA similarity. So if two angles are equal, then that would be similar. And this can be also extended to AAA similarity. And then we talked about SAS, right? And the fourth one was triple. So in SAS, we have to always remember that if we have two triangles, let's say A, B, and C, and P, Q, R. So let's say these angles are equal, right? These angles are equal. So these two sides should be so these two sides should be proportional. So the angle between those two sides if we are using this SAS, so that should be proportional. So one, we can also write it in this way, that ABC and PQR. So if angle A is equal to angle P, so these two sides, sides should be proportional. This is what the SAS property. So what does this SAS property say? That if you have AB by PQ and that is equal to AC by PR, this is first thing. And you have second thing, which is angle A equal to angle P. So then triangle ABC similar to triangle. So this is what this SAS property states, right? And triple S, you guys already know that we should have AB by PQ, that should be equal to AC by PR, that should be equal to BC by QR. So all these three things should be proportionate, in equal proportion, right? In the uh, in the congruency, we had another set of rules. The names were somewhat similar, but in that congruency, we had equal size and we had also equal shape as well. Both the things were equal. So if we talk about the sides of this congruent triangle, so that would be AB equal to PQ, not the ratio. AB equal to PQ, S equal to PR, BC equal to QR. So that would be triple S congruency. But in the similarity, we have a different scenario, right? So these are the things that we studied in triangles chapter, right, guys? Did we do any other things? I guess, yeah, that's all we did. Right,
Sir,
guys? Yeah,
the
you,
angles are same, right?
yes, what?
The angles are equal, right?
Yeah, angles are equal. Yeah, so angles are equal. That is what their corresponding angles. Whenever we have similar figures, then their corresponding angles are equal, right? That is why whenever we write an equilateral triangle, an equilateral triangle is always a similar figure, right? So if we talk about two equilateral triangles, so they would always be similar, right? Because their angles are always equal, only their sizes are different, right? So let's say this is 3, 3, 3, and this is 5, 5, 5. So this ratio, let's say A, B, C, B, Q, R. So AB by PQ, that would be how much? 3 by 5. And that would be equal to also AC by PR. That is also 3 by 5. So that is why every equilateral triangle, that is a similar one. Right? Those figures are similar figures. Similarly, we have those squares. So squares are also similar figures. And then we have those, yeah, so those are the similar. Right? Okay, so yeah, you guys just note down this thing that you guys can, so please note it down and then we'll start with the problem. So then this would be more easy to understand. You guys have already done things, but if we write something many a times, then we can remember it for a long time, right? Can you guys also tell me, did we do any other thing in this chapter? I guess these are the, yeah, stuff. And they may ask you this. PPT, right? So in the exam, they may ask you to prove this basic proportionality theorem. So this is also an important question, right? So proving part, you guys go back to your notes, and if you guys face some difficulty in understanding that part, then please tell me. Okay, whenever you guys want to scroll down the screen.
Sir, can you explain the proof of that theorem?
Oh, so okay, good, good. Whenever you guys, yeah, let me just. How do we approve this thing, right? So I told you guys that to prove these things, we have to understand, right? One thing is that the area of the triangle, right? This property area of the triangle. So we will use this half base into height. So this base can be different, right? Let's say we have this kind of triangle, right? And let's say this is A, B, and C. So this perpendicular may lie on the third side and may not lie on the third side. So maybe it will lie on the extension of the third side. So for this case, let's say we have this triangle. So we can obviously see that this perpendicular will lie on this third side. But for this triangle, right, for this triangle, if I want to draw a perpendicular from A to this BC, right? So to do that, I have to extend this line, and then only I can drop a perpendicular to this, right? So this is the one thing that we have to understand in proving this thing. And the other thing that we have to understand, as I talked about, this property. So area between the same parallel and on the same base. So ABC has a base BC, and PBC has a base BC, and this is between AP and BC. So these two things that we have to remember, and now let us understand the part, right? Okay, so here is this thing, and now let us. So what do we have? We have this triangle, right? And this is the parallel side. This is PQ and BC and A. So what we will do is that we will draw a perpendicular on AP, right? So that would be this thing, right? So this would be the perpendicular on AP. Let's say this is M, and we will also draw a perpendicular on AQ. So that would be this, right? So let's say this is N. And the other construction that we will do is that we will join this thing QB, and we will also join this P. So these are the four construction that we have to make, and we will take two triangles at one time, right? So in one case, we will take triangle APQ and then again APQ, right? Because if we have a triangle, right? So this triangle has three bases, and I can take three different altitudes, right? So if I take this base, then this would be the altitude. If I take this base, then this would be the altitude. If I take this base, then this would be the altitude. So I can take different altitudes of the same triangle. So the moving part, yeah, I will not write all these statements, right? Because we have to just understand that how we can. Is that all right to do, Shaima, or do you want for me to also write those statements?
No, sir, it's okay.
Yeah. So Then, firstly, what we will do is that we will take in triangle APQ and triangle A. If I write AQP, so that is also APQP. Right. So I can write that area of APQ that would be equal to area of AQ. Right. So I'm taking this triangle. Okay. And in this triangle, firstly, I take the area using AP base. So that would be how much? That would be 1 by 2 AP. And what is the altitude, Shaima?
QM.
QM, right? So that is QM, absolutely correct. And Amar, if I take this triangle and if I take AQ base, so what would be the altitude? If I take AQ base, Amar, what would be the altitude? Remember, the altitude would be from the third vertex, which we have not chosen, right? So in triangle AQP, we have chosen A and Q. So the other vertex which is remaining is P. So we have to figure out
Yeah.
the, yes,
PN, right?
PN. Yes, absolutely right. So be confident in your answer, right, Amar? Don't hesitate. So half cancels, and what we will get? We will get AP, right? And by AQ, that would be equal to PN by QM, right? So if we remember, let's say this is one. If we remember our goal, so what we want to prove? Goal, remember the goal is to prove AP by PB, that is equal to AQ by QC. That is what we want to prove, right, guys? So what are the sides that we have already gotten? We have got this, we have got this. So this thing we have already got, so we can now let us move on to the other. So now we will take other two triangles, and that would be, this is first part, and then we will take these two triangles, right? So this triangle, and now you guys can tell me that what kind of triangle these triangles are, right? So these two triangles. Right. So I am taking, say in second part, I am taking a triangle PQP and triangle CQ. Right. So what are these two triangles? What can you say about these two triangles, guys?
Their altitude lies on the extended part.
Yeah, that is the other thing. Yes, that is very important. Yes, absolutely right.
They lie
They
between
lie
the
on the
same
same
parallel line.
base.
Yeah, they lie on the same base, right? PQ is the common base. Right. PQ is the common base, and we already know that this is given. This is given to us that PQ parallel to PC. That is already given, right? So these two triangles are on the same base and between the same parallel. So we can write about them that area of, let's say, PQP, and I should write area of PQC, right? In this way, we can figure out that these two are the same, right? So how can I say that? I can say it by area between same base, area on the same base, and between the same parallel. Okay, so I got this. Now, what would be the area, Shaima, of this PQB triangle if I choose PB base? If I choose PB base, what would be the area?
Half into PB into QM.
QM, right? That would be in the, as you said earlier, extension of this PB line, right? Absolutely correct. So now, Amar, your turn. What would be the area if I choose QC? In triangle PQC, if I choose the base to be QC, then what would be the altitude? Because remember, if I'm choosing PQC, I have already chosen Q and C. So the vertex which is remaining is what?
Uh,
What kind of triangle is it? Just think. So you
see,
have
P,
so Q and C point you have chosen. So what is the remaining vertex?
P,
P. So from P you have to figure out the perpendicular. So can you draw a perpendicular here on this QC? You cannot,
no,
right? So you have to draw the extension. So can you figure out
but
what is the
QM,
per no, you have to draw the perpendicular from P, right? Remember, this is the remaining vertex.
then P.
PN, right? So PN,
So I said
absolutely.
PM before.
Yeah, you did okay. Yeah, I didn't hear. Yeah, sorry. So I couldn't hear that. Okay, the previous time you also said PN and I couldn't hear, and this time, yeah. So that is absolutely correct. So again, half is cancelled, and I can calculate PB by QC as PN by QM. Right, so Pn by Qm. So this is the second equation. And if I compare the right hand side of these things, so I can write that from 1 and 2, right? 1 and 2, I can write AP by AQ. That is PB by QC. But we have not reached our answer, right? The answer is AP by PB and AQ by QC. So we have to rearrange this thing. All the things, AP is there, AQ is there, PP is there, QC is there. So just we have to rearrange this, right? So we take this thing the other side, this thing the other side. So this would be this. So this is the right, guys. Is it clear to all of you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I will not, yeah, so you guys prove this one, you guys practice this one, you guys know the methods. We have to only remember that we have to pick two triangles. One is the upper one, the other one is the lower, right? Pick two triangles, use the property of the areas, and then just, right? So these are the steps that you have to follow. So you guys prove this thing on your own, right? You guys have, in your notes already have these proofs, right? So you can, but, okay, do you guys want to note down? Yes?
Already noted.
Oh, already noted. You guys have become super fast. Okay, so now please note down the rest of the things, right? Please note it down and yeah. Okay, so we have only 7 minutes left. So yeah, we'll try to do some questions. And yeah, today is 3rd January. So did you guys made some daily targets that you are following? This, let's say from science, social science, and mathematics. Are you following some daily targets, guys? If you have not, please make it already, right? Because you guys have very less time to prepare. We have 1 month, and in 1 month, yeah, that is quite a lot time to prepare on. Please start your preparation. Today is 3rd January, and we have 27 days to complete all the chapters. In the meanwhile, we are revising these things on, right? Guys also make some daily targets and practice. Practice is because conceptual wise, concept wise, you guys have become expert. Only the thing which is necessary is practice, right? Okay, whenever you guys want me to scroll down, right? Please tell me. please give some tips to manage time in
Done,
January
sir.
paper with the time provided. Okay. So the only idea or the only thing that you can do is practice all the kinds of questions, right? So let's say, let's say we took how much time to solve this thing? We took at least 20 minutes, right? But from practice, we can do this question in 2 or 3 minutes. This is a 5 minutes, 5 marks question, and we can do this in 3 minutes by doing some practice, right? So what you guys, if you want to reduce your time, so then you guys have to, let's say from February, guys start practicing some sample papers. Randomly, yeah, I will give you guys some sample papers. So randomly, you guys set a time of 3 hours, and yeah, then you guys start solving that question and see how much time. Let's say initially you are taking 3.5 hours. So by doing some practices, you guys can make it in 2.5 hours, right? That you can do. But yeah, so you guys have to practice some sample papers because you have to, let's say all of the question you have practiced. Let's say if they ask from some other thing, the question are slightly different, then you guys need some practice to do all these questions. Yeah, I will ask you guys to first complete all the chapters and then try to solve those sample papers, right? Sample papers I will send you guys, and you guys also have some sample papers from your colleagues. Yeah, that you can also practice. But let's say in your weekends, right? In your weekends, holidays, you have Friday and Saturday. So in Friday and Saturday, you guys pick some sample paper and try to solve that sample papers. Isolate yourself from everything. Don't get disturbed by anything. Practice that question paper and see how much question you can do and how much time you are taking. And then you see that what question is taking a lot of time. Let's say trigonometry is taking a lot of time. So then you practice trigonometry. Let's say area related to circle is taking that much of time. So you practice that part. So first you let's say in this weekend, take some sample paper and start your stopwatch and try to solve that simple paper and see in what topic you guys are getting some trouble. So note down that topic and focus on that topic, right? Because let's say AP and all these things you have solved it in 2 or 3 minutes, right? Then it is very good, and then you don't need to focus on that part. So you focus on what is the other topic or chapter which is taking so much time. So maybe yeah, that would be the idea that I can give. Yeah, and you guys also think because you guys know yourself more than anyone. So you guys figure out that how can you manage your time, right? Which topic, which chapter is the topic? Yeah, that would be the thing, right? Okay, so you guys have noted this thing already, and yeah, can we do some question? Yeah, so let us. We will not do this. Middle point, then put that y is the middle point. Yeah, that is not it. Or did we should this? Okay, so we have 1 minute, so we can do this, right? So let us quickly understand this question, right? If in triangle AO, if in triangle ABC, XY AC also on is the middle point of AC. So X is the middle point of AC and xy is parallel to AB, right? So which would be this line? This line or this line? Let's say this is one line, this is two lines. So which is the correct line? One or two? Two, right? So xy is parallel to A. We have to draw the parallel to. So then prove that y is middle point of BC. So we have to prove that y is middle point of whatever this thing. So we know that if xy, or I should write xy is parallel to AB, right? Then we can write that Cx by xa, that is equal to Cy by yb, right? That we can write. And we also know this is given that x is midpoint of AC. So we can write xa, that is equal to xc, right? What did I write? Cx I have written. Cx, right? Because this is x is a middle point, so I can write these two sides are equal, right? So ax equals to x, right? This thing I know, so I know I can write cx by xa is cx and cy by yb. So this is 1, so I will get what? AB equal to cy, which proves that this y is midpoint. Right, so this was a simple question. Right, everyone? Yeah, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we'll stop it here, and in the next class we'll try to complete this part, right? And you guys also, yeah, make some daily targets, right? So make some daily targets and try to complete all the syllabus of science, social science, and mathematics before 31st January, right? Please set this target for yourself. And yeah, so then you have to only solve those sample papers in February. Before 31st January, you guys complete all the chapters. Yeah, leave everything. Now you guys be in your focus on mode, right? So switch on your focus mode and leave everything and just focus only on these that I would suggest you guys. Please start your preparation right, right? Don't leave it to February. Don't do that. Okay, so we'll stop it here and see you guys in the next class. And in the next class, yeah, we'll at least we'll finish this similarity and start criterions of triangle. And then you guys can suggest me what would be the next chapter that we should. Yeah, see you guys in the next class. And Amma, you please be here, right? And rest of you guys, I will meet you guys in the next class. So bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Oh, you guys have this class assessment, right? So please, whenever you guys leave, please take that class assessment. That is activated and that is on this triangles chapter, first off. Please take that class. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and in your preparation, whenever you guys get some doubts, please don't hesitate to ask, right? Okay, see you guys in the next class. Bye, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye, sir.
Thank you,
Allah
sir.
Hafiz.
Bye, bye. Allah Hafiz, guys. Bye. Yes. Uh, yes, Amar. So, what is the chapter that you are revising currently on your own? What is the chapter?
Trigonometry before.
Oh, trigonometry. Okay, so and did you understand this question?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. And please don't hesitate. Feel free to ask all those questions, right? Because I have promised your mother that you will do well in the exam. So, okay, so introduction to right. So, all the concepts, right? Do you remember all these concepts?
Not well, sir, because my exams, what on Friday I have S1 AI exam, IT.
IT, yeah. Oh, on Friday you have this. Yeah, but we did this trigonometric ratio in the previous class, right? When,
Yes.
yeah. So, do you remember all these things, or you have forgotten?
So I just need to go through it once. So
Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, good, good that you told me to. So, what did we studied in this part? That we are in trigonometry in triangles and these application of trigonometry. We are talking about triangles, right? We are specifically talking about triangles. And in trigonometry, we are, yeah, again, to be precise, we are only talking about right angle triangles. So you already know one angle which is 90 degree, and then the other two angles, they give the other trigonometric ratios, right? So you have in right angle triangle, you have hypotenuse, base, and perpendicular, right? Hypotenuse one you can easily identify that would be always opposite to this 90-degree angle. So that would be always opposite to this angle. So hypotenuse, whenever I give you any triangle, let's say I give you this triangle, right? So let's say if I make this triangle. So uh, can you tell me what is the hypotenuse in this triangle? What is the hypotenuse? Okay, can you identify which angle is 90 degrees?
see.
C. Absolutely correct. So the side which is opposite to C, that would only be the hypotenuse, right? What is the side
Yes.
which is opposite to C?
AB.
AB. So AB is the hypotenuse, right? Correct. AB is the hypotenuse. So we can easily identify the hypotenuse, right? This is the one thing. The second thing is that we have to figure out what is perpendicular and base. So how do we figure that out? Let's say we have already figured out that what is the hypotenuse. Then if we choose whatever angle we choose, let's say we pick this A angle, right? So if we pick this A angle, then what are the sides which are making this angle? This hypotenuse, right? This hypotenuse is there, and the other side would be called the base, right? So whenever we choose an angle, so one is always the hypotenuse, the other is identified as the base, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
And the remaining one would be the perpendicular, right? So this is first part is to identify all those sides. First, we need to identify what is perpendicular, what is base, what is hypotenuse. This is the first. Now, now there are some different functions. And what is the purpose of those functions? So those functions relates these angles, these angles to the other sides of the triangle, right? And those functions are called trigonometric ratios, right? So those are called trigonometric ratios. So let's say if I have this right angle triangle, right? I have this right angle triangle. I have this 90 degrees, so hypotenuse is already there, right? And if I pick this theta angle, If I pick this theta angle, so this would be base and this would be the perpendicular, right? So there are three main trigonometric ratios which relates all these sides. So one is the sine theta, which relates perpendicular and hypotenuse, this P and H. So sine theta would be P by H. Then we have this cos theta, which relates base and hypotenuse, right? So that is cos theta. And the third one is tan theta, which we talked earlier, that relates perpendicular and base. So these are main trigonometric ratios. These relates angle with the sides. Is it clear to you, Mark? Is it clear?
Yes.
Now, then we talk about the reciprocal of these three main ratios. So first reciprocal is cosec theta. This cosec theta is the reciprocal of sine theta, right? So how do we write the reciprocal? So let's say 3. So what would be the reciprocal of 3? What would be reciprocal
What?
of 3? Yeah, reciprocal of 3.
What? 1/3?
1 by 3, right? So that would be reciprocal, right? So similarly, I have this cos theta, so the sec theta is a reciprocal of cos theta. Similarly, I have this cot theta, that is the reciprocal of tan theta. So if I know all these three main trigonometric ratios, then I can figure out all these reciprocals, right? So this is the thing that we studied in the first exercise. And we also learned that how this tan theta is related to sine theta and cos theta, right? Because what is sine theta? What is sine theta? This is P by H, right? And cos theta is how much? How much is the cos theta, Amar?
Mm-hmm.
What is cos theta? Again, this is a
Yeah.
ratio. V by H, right? H. So this is cos theta, right? And if you, so this P and by H, so this H will go in the denominator because if we write it in division form, so this is P by H divided by V by H. So how do we write this thing? This division becomes multiplication and we take the reciprocal, right? So this will cancel and we will get what? We will get P by B.
Maybe.
So P by B is what? Tan theta, right? So that is how we write that sine theta by cos theta, that is tan. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, but how is this used in a question?
Yeah, so this is used, let's say if you have some 1 plus tan theta and into sine theta, right? Or let's say this is cos theta, this is given. And you want to solve this further. So we have to put this value of tan theta that you can, so how can you do this? How can you solve this? So tan theta you can put as sine theta by cos theta, right? And then this is multiplied by cos theta, this value. So this cancel and you will get 1 plus sine theta. So whenever, this is very important, whenever I want to write tan theta in the form of sine theta and cos theta, so I use this. So this is why this is very, very important. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Similarly, I can write cot theta. Cot theta would be how much? How can I write cot theta in the form of this thing? Remember, cot theta is reciprocal of what? Tan theta. So I can write 1 by sine theta by cos theta. So this cos theta will go in the numerator. So this will become, cot theta will become how much? That will become cos theta by sine theta. So just the reciprocal of tan theta. So this is how I can write cot theta. Is it clear?
Yes.
So these two things are very important when we do this trigonometric identity, right? So when we will do this trigonometric identities, so then we can write tan theta, cot theta in the form of sin theta and cos theta. So that is how these are very important. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so these are the things that we studied in the first exercise. And in this second exercise, we talked about this thing. So we talked about the values of all these trigonometric ratios at specific angles. So the angles were 0, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90. So at particularly these angles, we have specific values of all these trigonometric ratios. So sine 0 is 0, sine 30 is half, sine of 45, that is 1 by root 2, sine of 60 is root 3 by 2, sine 90 is 1. This one is a very peculiar, a very important table. Right? This we have to remember. And yeah, if they give you calculate sine square 45 plus sec square and let's say 30 degree. So how can we solve this? So we know that sine square 45 is how much?
1 by
Sine
root 2.
40, yeah, so 1 by root 2, we put this value and this is square. So we square it, and sec square 30, we can write it in the form of cos also. So sec is reciprocal of cos. So we can write it cos square 30, and then we can put the value of, if we don't remember sec, cosec and cot. So then we can do this thing. So cos square 30 is how much? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this is 1 by root 3 by 2. So this would be how much? This is 1 by root 2 whole square. How much is that? How much is 1 by root 2 whole square? So that would be 1 square and root 2 square. Root 2 square is 2, right?
Yes.
Similarly, this is 1 by root 3 square is 3. 2 square is 4. So this 4 goes in the equation. This is 1 by 2, 4 by 3. And now we have to take the LCM between 2 and 3, right? So LCM of 2 and 3 is how much? LCM of 2 and 3.
1.
2 and 3 LCM. So you have 2 and 3. So you divide 2, this is 1 and this is 3. And then you divide it by 3, so this is 1. So 2 into 3, that is the LCM, right?
Yes.
So this would be 6. Now you divide this 6 by 2, right? So this is 3, so you multiply 1 into. And then you divide this 6 by 3, that is 2. Then you multiply this 2 in here, so that is 4 into. This would be 3 plus 8 by 6, so 11 by 6. So this value would be 11 by 6. That is how you solve this these type of questions, right? Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you have to solve the exercise, right, on your own. If you solve those exercises, please take out some time. And whatever subject is topic. So what is the most difficult subject?
So what is the
Yeah,
subject or chapter?
I'm talking about the subject, right? Mathematics, science, or social studies. Which is the subject, or what is the subject that you?
Science.
Science,
It's chemistry or physics.
chemistry, and physics. So you find science in physics and chemistry. Those are the toughest. So focus on that part, right?
Including
So give most of your time those physics and chemistry subject, right? And yeah, give some time to mathematics as well, but give most of your time to those subjects, right? And as I was talking in the group, so you make some daily targets, right? Did you you have to take out 3 hours of yours, right? In your 24 hours time, right? Let's say you sleep, how many hours you sleep?
Um,
Let us divide your time, right? So we have 24 hours, right? So how many hours you sleep?
8.
8. So reduce it to for the exam purposes, reduce it to 7.
No, at night, I mean, for sleeping 8.
You need 8 hours to sleep. Yeah, so reduce you take out 1 hour from your sleep time, right? Just
So that when I'm sleep, I thought you were asking about like when I go to sleep at night.
no, no, no. So I'm asking that how many hours do you sleep? That is what I'm asking.
Once I come back from school, I don't sleep. If I lost sleep, I would only sleep for 2 hours.
So okay, so in your 24 hours time, you only sleep for 2 hours.
So like I said, at night I sleep for 8 hours. But for this,
No, no. So I'm asking
once I come,
in your whole 24 hours time, right? In your whole 24 hours time, day and night
most
together,
most of
right?
the time I don't sleep.
Yeah. So I'm not talking about in the morning or day. At night, how many hours? In the morning, you don't need to sleep at all because now the exams are
Wow.
nearing. In the morning time,
At
yeah,
night I sleep
yeah. At night, how many hours?
8.
No, reduce it to 7. Sacrifice some time. Sacrifice your sleeping time, right? So 7 hours. Then how many hours? Let's say you are taking your breakfast, you are taking your let's say lunch and all. So that is wasted in let's say 1 hour,
1 hour.
right? So you sleep 7 hours, you are you are brushing your teeth and all those other activities. So that takes from morning to night, all those things combined, it takes 1 hour, right? So how much time do you take to go to school in your preparation? Go to when you get your uniform and yeah.
Exam.
So in your to go to your school, right? How much time do you take for your preparation for all those uniforms and all those things? So how much time do you take? Half an hour.
So my school starts at 8.
Yeah. And you wake up at when do you wake
Mhm.
up?
6.
6 o'clock. So let's say you wake up at 6 o'clock,
6 o'clock. So let's say
and then you start your preparation for school, right? And then it takes. So when is your bus? So when does your bus come?
so you can include that in 1 hour also.
So it
For
all those
preparing for school.
together takes only 1 hour. That is very good. So let's say you have 8 hours, right? Those are wasted. So now we have 16 hours, right? 16 hours. So let's say if you take out what is the school timing? School timing is 5 hours or 6 hours. So your school starts at 8 a.m. and it ends at yeah
If school starts at 8, then school ends at 3.
3. How much is that? 4 and 3, 7 hours. Your school takes 7 hours of your time.
So I meant school timing.
Oh, so you reach your school and all those yeah. So reaching and you have also included those traveling time.
No, so like school ends at 3. My father comes to pick me up at, okay, actually, yeah, 3 only.
Yeah, 3 only. So all those things combined, traveling on all those things. So those are combined and it takes 8 for 12 and 3. So 7 hours, right? Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's reduce 7 hours from this again. So we have 9 hours. So you have lots of time, right? And let's say your tuition, how much time it takes? Your tuition, how much time it takes?
My science one takes 3 hours. This one takes 1 hour only.
For science, daily you have those science classes.
Not daily. Only twice a week.
Yeah, so this is, I'm talking about daily, right? These are daily classes,
Then no.
daily routine, right? So let's say in 9 hours, the tuition timing is, let's say 3 hours,
1 hour.
right? You have 3 hours reduced in tuition timing. So how much time do you have? 6 hours daily. You have 6 hours daily, right? And this is your own time, right? So if you prepare, let's say if you concentrate only for, let's say you do some other activities where 2 hours we can take out, right? So let's say we can take out 2 hours in all those activities. So still you have 4 hours daily. You can take it out. And you can add one more hour to your sleep. So still you have 3 hours of your daily time, right? So give 1 hour of your preparation, and we have taken this social activities, other activities, right? So still you have 3 hours. You can daily, yeah, take out 3 hours of your time, right, for self preparation. So you give 1 hour or 1 hour to math. You give 1 hour to science, and you give 1 hour social studies, right? So make this daily routine, right? And you can decide when can you take out these times, right? It can be after the tuitions, and it can be, yeah. So you have to, for these 1 month, 1 month you have to leave everything, right? So
Yes.
daily, because these are the only 1 month that you have, right? And whatever you want to do in your higher classes, that will be decided by only these 30 or 20 day, 29 days, right? So take out in from your daily routine, you can, we saw that you can take out 3 hours of time, right? Daily. So please give these times to all these subjects. Make your daily targets, as I was saying in the group, and try to complete half chapter daily, right? Half chapter daily. So let's say mathematics has 14 chapters, right? So in your tuition, you are also revising some chapters, but on your own. If you complete half chapter daily, then on your own you can complete. So let's say in one day you complete half chapter. So in 2 days, how many chapters? How many chapter you complete? Yes,
Mm,
in one day you complete half chapter. So in 2 days, how many chapters you complete?
1 4 chapter.
In one day you have completed already half chapter. Then the other half you complete in the second day. So in 2 days you are completing one chapter, right?
Yes.
So in 2 days you can complete one chapter, and 14 chapters you can complete in 28 days. So you have enough time on your own, right? Without my help, without everyone's help, on your own you can complete these chapters, right? So please make a daily target of half of the chapter, right? And I have only talked about the working days, right? In the working days, you have these school timings of 7 hours. So you can, if let's say some chapters are remaining, you are not able to complete those chapters. So you have these, right? On your weekends, you have these timings, right? So you have 14 hours of your free timings in your weekends. So please manage your time like this, right? And yeah,
Yes.
utilize your time very carefully because you have only one month to prepare, right? So don't waste any of your time because these timings are very crucial, very precious, right? So, in the Lord of the Rings, that was one guy, right? My precious. So use your precious time very carefully, right? Don't waste any time. So start your preparation now. Okay. Is it clear to you, Amar?
Yes.
Yeah. So start preparing and leave everything. Focus only on your preparation. Okay. So yeah, we'll stop at here, and in the next class, whenever we have those extra classes, so I will ask you about all those chapters that you have done on your own. And then you ask me what are the problems, what are the doubts that you are having. Because if all the time I explain these to you and you don't practice on your own, then it will be again a new thing for you, right? You have to work on yourself, right? And then try to
Yes.
find out the doubts. So please do that, and in the next class, whenever we have those extra classes, private classes,